Hey everyone, James from DTB here with a special episode.
We're eating some dim sum, episode 467, 66. What did you say?
461.
461.
Yeah. This is perhaps maybe one of the better uses of pu'erh tea, or maybe one of the more traditional uses of pu'erh tea. And we are drinking some Hong Kong stored stuff. We have a lot of dim sum. So I'm not going to assume that everyone is familiar, but this is like a Cantonese meal, a bunch of small plates here, traditionally had with tea. It's not always pu'erh necessarily, but we're Pu'erh heads, so we're going to have it with pu'erh.
Yep.
So yeah, Denny, what are you putting on your plate there?
I got some shumai chicken feet and some shrimp dumplings. Get out there. Get
some hao gao. And then we have some tea here.
Yeah.
And usually what I do for tea when I'm doing dim sum takeout is I'll use like ripe and I'll just up the leafage by like 25% or so. So because you want it strong because you're pairing it with food.
Right,
so
right.
You don't want it to be a little bitterness is okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to taste it the same way.
Yeah. Let's dig in.
Yeah. I will go for this.
So what is it, like a caro? Is that
this
tofu?
this is a daikon cake. They'll
Okay, cool.
Just fry it on a pan usually.
Nice.
Yeah, it's one of my regulars to get. It's usually a little better when you have it in the store. And typically a lot of this stuff will just come out in steamer baskets. This is also some chili oil that my aunt makes.
Nice. So my typical experience of dim sum is I go there thinking I'm going to be able to have a conversation with the person that I'm there with. And instead what happens is I show up and a lady with a cart shows up, wheels herself over, and then just starts yelling shumai, taro cake, egg custard. And I just can't get a word in. And it's just being berated by like a Chinese, like grandma to eat. And you just go hard. That's been my dim sum experience.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
But let us know what your guys' dim sum experience is. This is probably the least dim summy thing, the beans, but it's nice to get a little bit of greens in here. Usually it's either beans or Chinese broccoli, something like that.
These taste to me like dry fried garlic green beans. Really good.
Yeah. And so this is from Harbor City in Seattle.
Cool. Cheers. Cheerio.
Cheerio.
It's nice. This is such fatty, rich food, right? A lot of this has pork.
Yeah.
Even though part of dim sum is everything is steamed, or almost everything, but even then, it's just rich. So it's a good compliment, and yeah, it really does kind of cut through.
And you could get a really nice variety of this of food. So if you've never tried dim sum, definitely highly recommend you check it out. Place like Seattle, in the Chinatown, there's all kinds of places that you can go.
Yep. This looks great. Nice and dark. Yeah. Dim sum. Yeah. You and I have had dim sum over the years for quite a few years at this point, dude.
Yeah, one thing Denny and I used to do is we used to take our coworkers out and to the International District, probably 10 years ago at this point, and maybe even longer, and go get dim sum.
There's an umami flavor, not spicy. That's good. When would you typically have dim sum? Did you ever have a typical kind of... Growing up, I would have it irregularly. What about you?
Well, my family is Cantonese, and we are in the area, so it would not be uncommon for my whole extended family, which is like a bunch of brothers and sisters of my mom, to go to a dim sum place and have all my cousins and take up 4 tables with the ladies there.
Got it.
And just order 5 or 6 of each thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very different. We would show up and just be I mean, if you're going to a good dim sum spot, you're like, the white person at the dim sum restaurant. Chicken feet, very annoying to eat, but very delicious. And yeah, I just have lots of memories of like going up to like King's or whatever, and going up to the top floor and having dim sum, and then the hustle and bustle is always loud, and it's just it's a fun cultural experience. And frankly, probably was one of the first times that I had traditionally made quote unquote tea. Oftentimes it's just like a huge pot of tea of like hot water with pu'erh leaves in it.
Yeah. So the tea, because it's TDB, the tea is brewed usually pretty casually. So right now I'm actually steeping that, so it's just going to be a pretty strong brew.
Got it. Okay, so okay.
Yeah. So because you're having it with food, it's like very nice to just kind of cut through the pork fat or the shrimp. And just sort of sip throughout the meal. I mean, normally I'm not one to drink tea with a lot of meals, but dim sum is certainly one of the exceptions.
Definitely. Yeah, I'd say that this is probably the only time I would drink tea with food. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So some people, thank you. Pu'erh has a reputation for having a kind of a digestive component to it. It can kind of be good for your stomach, apparently, and like
Yada yada.
right. And I think that it's probably slightly overblown.
I think that's probably true.
I
But
don't want to be rude to anyone else out there, but it certainly is paired with this food again because of the kind of bold character of it. It's not a lot of high notes. You're not trying to get some sort of like intense, spectacular floral little note of something. It's kind of like bold. It's not quite like having coffee with a fatty meal. That would be a little bit too bitter. But it just, to your point, it just kind of cuts through that fat layer. And yeah, this is fun.
yeah.
Yeah, growing up, we would go to dim sum. If we were going to the International District, it would be for dim sum pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just take a quick tour around the different items. So
Sure.
These are some green beans. I actually don't know how they're cooked. I don't know if those are actually stir fried or steamed.
So good.
This is hao, which is like steamed shrimp dumpling. This is shumai. These two are probably two of the most regular ones.
And shumai is?
So it's like a mixture of pork and shrimp in there. I think there might also be some mushroom in there.
Black mushroom, typically.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's chicken feet. We didn't do tripe today, but that's another one sort of like chicken feet that you can get. There's steamed spare ribs as well with black bean. Pan-fried daikon cake, which is like pan-fried radish. This is one of my favorites. This is like a chive dumpling that's also pan-fried. I like to personally get a couple pan-fried things just to mix up kind of the different textures.
Yeah.
This is sticky rice steamed in like lotus leaf. We haven't dug into that yet.
Right.
These are some steamed rice cakes. And these my friend calls footballs. I think there's taro or something like that in there. And then there are egg tarts over at the end.
Got it, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, interesting. Never had that before.
Yeah. Anything else we want to say to the folks before we just totally embarrass ourselves with this food?
Yeah, tea, I don't know. Some people have very specific ideas of what tea should be. I mean, if this isn't your idea of tea, that's okay. But this is one of my ideas of tea. I'm a casual tea dater, as they say. I will, you could put it a different way with a word starting with an S. I'm pretty good with tea no matter what. And I rarely will refuse a cup of tea. And so even though the restaurant tea at a typical place you would get isn't going to be fantastic, it's still part of the experience and just awesome.
Yeah.
So.
And also, if you are so bold enough, you can bring your own tea. And just ask for hot water. Like, that is not unheard of.
Interesting.
It
Never heard of that before,
wouldn't be particularly common, but it's like some of the more serious tea people I've enjoyed dim sum with are like, yeah, No, we're not drinking this restaurant stuff. I'm pulling
Very
out
good.
something from the 80s.
Very good. Very good. It's like a corking. There's no corking fee apparently.
Yeah.
No brewing fee.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna go sit here, enjoy this meal. I don't think it'd be an interesting episode if we just gorged ourselves. So we're gonna turn off the camera here and eat the rest of this food.
Maybe we'll come back and do a final summary of what we thought. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe we will. Yeah, we'll leave the camera in place.
We'll see you next time or in a second with the.
We are now some full
Oh my
tea
God.
freaks. We have we're gonna eat our dessert dim sum here, an egg tart.
I'm so full.
Yeah, Denny is making guttural sounds.
Seriously. Oh god. Cheerio.
And which ones stood out to you, Denny? Which ones did you like? Which ones passed the mom test? If you
Pass
will?
the mom
I
test.
think everything passed the
Huh?
mom test.
What-
Maybe
what-
not the chicken feet.
Maybe not that football thing because it was a little bit funky, but I liked it.
Yeah,
Chicken feet, I don't think that passes the mom test.
yeah.
A little too real. Salute.
Cheer out.
But yeah, dim sum's pretty easy. I think I always forget to order these like green onion chive
Mm-hmm.
cakes. I always love those. Dim sum is pretty dominated by like shrimp and pork.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I'd say if you don't like those two things, you might want to skip dim sum. But otherwise,
But if you like one but not the other, you might be able to get away with it. Yeah.
realistically, yeah. And this is great. Typically, you do dim sum with a ton of friends.
Yeah.
And so this would all be eaten. But we have leftovers. Yay.
Yep.
All right, well, how are we going to finish that? This has been a strange episode of TV. If you liked it, like it, I guess.
If you like dim sum, hit the like button too.
Yeah, let's chill for dim sum. Yeah, we'll actually film us doing a normal episode next time, and so you can stick around for that. And until then,
Cheerio.
cheerio.
Peace.
Cheerio.
Okay.
Okay, Haley will like that.
Okay.
One of these.
Yeah, you can start moving stuff into.
I'm just gonna grab both actually. Since you have two.
Cool.
These. I'm gonna get a shumai for her. Did you have two shumai?
I had one. Do you want both? That's
No,
fine.
no. Did these come with three or four?
They come with 4. This one came with 3. That one came with 4.
I must have had two shumai.
Did you not eat a shumai?
I did.
Oh, I ate one.
There must have been 3 then. No.
No.
Wow, I am so underslept. Sorry, dude. Oh my god. Okay.
Not exactly calculus, my friend.
Oh my god, we're sleep training Julian,
Uh-huh.
which basically means that he just
Yeah.
cries and cries and cries until.
He goes to bed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So terrible. So, on top of everything, very sleepy.